This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, full spoiler review of episode 5 of Moon Knight, plus all the comic book movie news from CinemaCon 2022, upcoming Marvel movies swapping release dates, Fantastic Four movie loses its director, remembering the comic book legend Neal Adams, and a whole lot more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, May 2nd, 2022.
You know who this is, and you know why you're here. You want all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news, and by God, you found it. Forget everything else out there. Forget all the Scientology bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Worship at the feet of the holy trio of geekdom, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Play it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We talk it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We talk it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
What's up? Hello, listener. How's it going? Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
And joining us, it's our very own Poop Night.
Oh, God.
What's up, Rug Boy? It's a Rug.
I don't know what to say to that.
Oh, my
Poop
God.
night?
I stumped the Rug Boy with the Poop Night, did I?
That was,
Poop night.
that was
Is there a joke there? A poop
I don't
joke?
know what that was so bad.
Look,
I mean, I audibly, sometimes I sit back and like let you do that. But that one I couldn't even, it was involuntary,
Not
my reaction to that.
I'm sorry. I saw the Amber Heard Moon Knight meme, and it got stuck in my head.
There was an Amber Heard Moon Knight meme?
Yes.
No, what was there?
Wait, I gotta know about. I don't know about this.
Well, I know about her pooping.
Yeah. No, it's on our Facebook group.
I like the meme that I saw where it was her and Johnny Depp together, and on Johnny Depp is labeled Willy Wonka, and then on her is labeled the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, that's a good one.
How badly has that gone for her?
Well, here's the thing. She's about to take the stand next. They did character witnesses, which some of it is hilarious. But I just saw a headline. She fired her whole PR staff before going up. So I don't know if she's happy with her team. This is going to be...
She should be really upset with her lawyers.
Yeah, this is going to be quite the entertaining testimony here once she goes up. But did you catch the one guy? One of the character references was testifying via his camera video. He's in his car, like vaping and driving around while he's giving testimony, and Johnny Depp is just laughing his ass off. It's so funny. So,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
yeah, there's been some amazing clips. Anyways, Ruggs is the real Poop Night. That was you. You saw Johnny Depp's pillow, and you just couldn't help yourself. Just admit it, Ruggs.
It doesn't look like human shit to me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
We'll have to-
inhuman.
We'll have to break out the Bristol-Myers chart and give it a closer look there. But that's a different podcast.
Bristol Myers.
Yeah, the poop chart. You ever looked that up?
Oh, it tells you like
How healthy it is, yeah.
how healthy you are and what by the color of your poop.
Listen, poop like snowflake. They're all very different, and you got to find out what your body is telling you when you look at it.
Have you ever pooped white?
No? What the fuck?
White.
See, that's another.
No, that's that's what happens to like goose poop after a few days. Like it just turns white and then drifts away in the air like Thanos snapped his fingers and shit. Why are we talking about poop? This is all my fault.
Yeah, don't question it. You're the one that started the show that way.
All right, let's move on to some geek news. You poopers.
I knew that there was going to be a Moon Knight something. He was going to toss me a Moon Knight, but then Poop Night.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
You got to roll with it, Ruggs. I'm testing your.
But sometimes I can't roll. I can't roll in the Poop Night.
That was a failure.
The immediate, oh God, for me.
It's that kind of day.
It is. It really is.
So what kind of news we got, Imran?
Well,
Then transition.
well, great segue, Ruggs. There was a thing last week called CinemaCon 2022.
Why do you always do that?
I don't know. I like to mispronounce things.
I do that
mispronounce
too.
it.
That's something that I do too.
Just
So
because
it must be an old guy thing.
You know,
Definitely.
How do you know how to pronounce anything? It's all just suggestion of grammar.
Because you try to look for a laugh in everything, even the way the word is spelled.
Absolutely. And sometimes words are just funny when you pronounce them differently. Oh, I have more words I'll pronounce differently later. But CinemaCon is that thing for all the exhibitors, the theater owners, right? It's where all the studios show up. It was held in Las Vegas. And they show up and they show their wares. So I pulled a couple of the comic book movie related highlights to bring to the table here. How's that sound, fellas?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with Sony. They went up first. The first news is that the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has been pushed back. It is called Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Moved from this year. It was supposed to come out 2022. It is now coming out June 2023.
Why?
Production issues is what they said. Now, this is a very ambitious animated feature. From what I've read, this one expected to be a lot bigger, have a lot more characters and more universes. They have said this is the biggest crew that's ever worked on an animated feature. There's like 1,000+ people. They have also modeled like 240 characters. So that's like background and the main characters. Remember how in the first movie they used Stan Lee a lot in the background? He was like everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was 80 characters they modeled total for that movie. This movie has 240 character models that will be used for everything. So they showed a little bit of footage that had Oscar Isaac as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, and Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, voiced by Issa Rae. And then the third one is going to be called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. They dropped like the part 1, part 2 they were going to do. There's all 3 different things. That's coming out 2024.
So this is all going to be one movie, not 2 movies anymore.
It is going to be 2. There's still 2 more coming out.
Oh.
So Into the Spider-Verse was the first one. Across the Spider-Verse is the second one. Beyond the Spider-Verse is the third one.
Oh, okay.
I'm still... She seems very excited, but...
He just said that, and I didn't listen to it. And then he said it a second time, and I listened to it.
I mean, it sucks. It's not... There's one less comic book movie coming out this year. I'm looking forward to this one. It looks... The first one is great. This one looks even crazier. Excited to see.
Yeah, but 2023, that's such a long time now.
Yeah, now it's over a year away.
And they were showing footage for that in theaters and stuff.
Yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
When you make a movie with this much dubstep, you need time to like recover. Because like you play the dubstep while you're animating, and then all of a sudden you need to like nap for 3 days.
Also, it's half the frame rate. What could take so long?
Yeah,
They just chop out half of the frames.
This shit should be done in like 2 weeks. But
I mean, I imagine there's going to be lots of different animation styles for the different universes and, different techniques. That's exciting. Also confirmed, Venom 3 is in the works.
Floppy jock.
Yay.
No one's surprised about that.
No one's surprised. And also, they confirmed that a sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, another movie we all watched, they're going to make another one. Which I'm okay with. That was a fun movie. I'd like to see some more.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Did I beat you that time with the reaction noise?
I don't know. We'll have to go to the tape.
All right, we'll have to rewind it.
Who came in first?
That's a new drinking game that you can play while you listen to the show. See who makes the reaction noise.
Okay, let's time this reaction because here's probably the most confounding, crazy, random news that came out of this whole thing. Sony is making another Spider-Man-less Spider-Man spin-off movie, in their Sony Spider-Man universe of characters.
Right.
This one is a very, very obscure character called El Muerto.
The dead one.
The dead one. He's a fighter with a luchador mask who gets his power from a luchador mask. Playing El Muerto will be Bad Bunny.
Oh, shit.
Who's that?
His name is Juan Carlos Sanchez is the name of El Muerto. Bad Bunny. You don't know Bad Bunny, Ruggs?
Is that the girl who said "Cash Me Outside," or is that Bad Baby?
That's Bad Baby. This is Latin Grammy winner, platinum selling recording artist. Anthony, you know the Bad Bunny.
I know who Bad Bunny is.
What's his music like?
It's I'd say Hispanic rap. I don't know how they classify that these days, but yeah, it's its own little genre now.
Is it good? Because I understand he's pretty huge in the Latino community.
Yeah. He's very big. Yeah. I like some of his songs, but I don't know what he's saying, so I don't know if it's actually good or not. It's like him and I forget the other guy that's like super popular, but they're basically the two guys that run it right now.
And I guess there's a wrestling tie-in, right? Because wasn't he in? Isn't he like a part-time WWE guy?
I don't
He did
know.
it like once.
He was in WrestleMania, wasn't he?
Like anybody could be in WrestleMania.
Yeah,
though.
Johnny Knoxville was there
Like,
too.
Wasn't Donald Trump in WrestleMania?
Yes, he
He
was.
was.
He's in the
Yes, he
Hall of
was.
Fame.
Yeah, like anybody could do it.
So you got a wrestling character. Look, this will be like the first Latino superhero character, but like you couldn't find anybody better than Bad Bunny. On the other hand, he's got a huge following. This character has appeared in the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comic number 6 in 2006. I believe he appears in 2 issues of comics total.
That's
Or more
it?
so. Yeah, I think that's it.
So
But-
he's just a this is like Nacho Libre with
Yeah, he gets his power from this luchador mask, which I love. Luchador
Jay Balvin
masks.
is the other guy that's basically huge right now. Him and Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny's real name Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Bullet Train. That Sony also showed. That fucking movie looks wild. I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, that looks good.
A couple of things to say.
Yeah,
There are artists that have made the crossover to movies and not been bad.
sure.
I think Ice Cube's decent. Ice-T is decent. Common's pretty decent. Like they
Yeah.
can make it.
Yeah.
That being said, unless this movie's just tongue-in-cheek, I don't see how this is just not another disaster for Sony.
Why? Why are they?
What is going on?
And it's another like
Who is in charge of the decision-making
it's
over
another
there?
anti-hero a la Morbius Venom, right? Another like bad guy anti-hero. What the fuck? Why?
Their only selling point is if Bad Bunny is actually any good.
Do you think he could
Because
be?
no one
anything?
knows who El Muerto is. No one knows that he's associated with Spider-Man.
Right.
And if they do the whole he's associated with Spider-Man thing, I mean, it might work. Morbius made actually a decent amount of money, but this has to be a tongue-in-cheek movie.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be like a crazy, off-the-wall, goofy. I don't know.
I really can't think of anything I'd give less a shit about than this movie. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
I really don't give a shit. Like the character's been in like a couple comics,
2 comic books total.
I looked it up and got the same picture of the character.
There's
not even
just
like
that one picture of
Yeah.
him choking Spider-Man. Yes.
And I mean, like, look, I think it's great to have some diverse heroes and whatever, but like, and maybe they could concoct something that's cool, but they're not really hitting it out of the park with these.
No, Sony has a very strange strategy at play here.
Like, if it was like, okay, Kevin Feige's like going to make a new hero out of like some obscure character, or like James Gunn, okay, somebody that can do it, all right, excitement level would be higher. But we're talking about Sony, who's just made like dog shit movies. So like, I don't know, do I care? No, it's not.
I was
be
like,
good.
wow, what is this? What, Sony?
Yeah, when I saw it shared on my
Yeah.
timeline, I was going, is this a joke?
Like, the
it seems like a
fuck?
joke. The fuck? This is real.
You
fuck
think
is
that
this?
Sony's going to get their shit together to create a completely new character? I mean, look, there's a market to be tapped here, right? But we got a person who's very popular.
Yes, you have a big fan base with this person. Yes.
Yeah. So, but Jared Leto also has a fan base, and he's also a musician that has,
That's true. And he's got a legit band also. Yes.
they made money, but they made a dog shit movie. So I don't know. It's like, it'll probably make money, but it will probably be dog shit. So,
I mean, if
There
it's,
you go.
if it gets new people into superhero movies, great. They also showed a little bit of footage from Kraven the Hunter, and it was essentially that Aaron Taylor Johnson running. I guess that's all. But again, they're making a Madam Web movie. They've cast the young Madam Web and another Venom, and this is just a mess with the Sony Spider-Man universe. I think it's amazing. Listener, let us know what you think. Join the conversation. We have a Facebook group called Jock and Nerd Nation. Link in the show notes. It's a closed, exclusive group just for you, just for us. There's Moon Knight spoiler threads I've been posting in there every time there's a show that we review. There'll be spoiler threads. David Zika posted an Ozark spoiler thread. Thank you for doing that, Zika. So if you're watching that show, Ruggs, the second part of the season 4 is out. I don't know if you watched it.
what? Ozark?
Ozarks, yes.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Damn, I gotta fucking do that.
Yes, there's a lot to watch. Anyways, next thing, CinemaCon Universal. The highlight here, we've got a final Jurassic World Dominion trailer. And Anthony, let's start with you. Did you get a look at this trailer? Where's your expectations?
Sloppy
Are we
jock.
here? Are we here for this third in this new sequel?
I think of the three that they've made now, this being the third. On paper, this one actually has the most interesting concept because you've completely flipped everything, and you now have the dinosaurs roaming amongst regular people. So I think it has the potential to be fun and exciting. It probably won't make a ton of sense because none of these movies have made a ton of sense since the original Jurassic Park. But again, I think they had a well-cut trailer.
Yeah.
Seems to be a little bit more focused on the baby
Blue
raptor.
has a baby somehow.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Herself, something.
They brought all the old crew back. I mean, they're doing all the steps that these movies do, where they bring back this old crew with the new crew and all that stuff. The new crew has been less than stellar, to say the least. The only thing that's been likable about the new crew is the fact that they've made the Raptors good guys.
Right.
Like, that's the only exciting. And then like the T-Rex and the Raptors good guys. But we'll see. I think this one is an interesting concept for sure on paper. So I think they can have a lot more fun with this.
I'm excited to see more Jeff Goldblum. Give me more. There was a lot of Jeff Goldblum in this trailer. I was like, oh, man, he's got a big part. Ruggs, what'd you think of this?
I like it. I like the new baddie, the Giganotosaurus, or I think I said
what he is.
I don't know if I said it right, but yeah, that's what it is. They're hyping it up because it's really not. I don't think it could take on a T-Rex. Like, I don't think they even existed at the same time, but it's bigger than the T-Rex, but I don't think it's got the bite power of a T-Rex. It's probably
I like that he's actually giving.
He's analyzing
real
real
statistics.
Well, there's nerds out there. I got Nick Shev. He's going to give me the litany after I do this. He said I said it wrong. I'm probably wrong about everything I said.
It's got feathers. They got a dino with feathers. I will say, I thought the action beats in this trailer look a lot of fun. Like, I'm definitely geek boner for this now. After this trailer, the chase scenes look pretty cool. You know, in the streets of Europe. I think it's hilarious now that the accepted way to stop dinosaurs. You see multiple people doing this. You just hold your hand up. You just stand there and hold your hand up, and they will stop. I guess. Like there's one scene where there's three people. They're all just standing there, stop, holding their hand. I'm like, does that work?
Yeah.
And then
when you're getting attacked by a bear, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to stand there and raise your hand.
I'm the human.
That's what they tell you to do.
I mean, if you were to look at this realistically, there's no fucking way these dinosaurs would get out of control like this. Like, we would be fucking mowing these motherfuckers down.
There'd be a lot more machine gun action.
Yeah,
probably.
it would just be,
just missiles and rocket launches, right into the mouth.
It would be like a done deal.
Yeah, but
give me the chain gun.
We're here.
Yes, we need to save them. I think maybe we want to save them. We don't want to save them. They keep flip flopping.
Just keep making more. We just keep printing them out. You know.
Yeah, I just wondering what they've already done the route where the T-Rex and the Raptor fight the bad dinosaur. So
isn't the daughter like a mutant or something?
Yeah, is that the clone girl? That's the clone girl that let them all go in the last movie.
She's the clone girl where in the last one she frees them and says something along the lines of, "They're free now, like me." Like she equates herself to a dinosaur or something like that. I forgot the exact line.
It's all her fault. This whole movie.
I thought she was like a mutant of some kind, but I guess she's just a clone.
Yeah,
they introduced clones out of nowhere. Remember?
Yeah,
for some reason. Didn't make any sense. All right. Well, that's coming out later this year. When? I don't know. It's coming out. Get excited. Let's move on to the Warner Brothers. So their big announcement they started with is no surprise again here. The Batman 2 is happening with Reeves and Pattinson returning.
Nice.
And yeah, it's on HBO Max now. A lot of people are watching it for the first time. It's fun.
I've heard some negativity.
I have too. That's what I got to say.
But
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
From just like average people. The two comments I've gotten is, this is a fucking, it's not a fun movie. It's just a little too browbeaten. And then the other one today was like, Batman didn't win. The whole time, Batman didn't win in this one. I don't like when Batman doesn't win. That was the other criticism. I was like, yeah, you got a point. He's learning.
Well, the biggest criticism that I hear is, besides that it's long and that nothing really happens, is that, they don't like Pattinson as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Like mouthing off to Alfred.
Oh, yeah, he was mean. A lot of people, that was mean. He's a jerk.
He's a biatch. We addressed all
We
that.
did. He wakes up and
talked
the
about
first thing he goes, "Why'd you lie to me?" And he's like, "Dude, he just took a bomb to the face for you." How about some
just woke up from a
sympathy?
coma.
Yeah, he was in his coma.
But he's a dick.
And you just yelled at him. Relax. Jeez. I mean, it's a little emo. That's what's going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they showed a flash sizzle reel, and I thought this was interesting. Apparently, this flash sizzle reel was very Batman heavy. I wonder why. Showing a bunch of bat suits, him riding on the bat cycle, and a good shot of Keaton as Batman, bringing back the line, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." I was like, oh, shit, he's going to
Did Batman say that?
He did.
Michael,
No, but I'm
said
saying,
that
like, he only says it in the movie, never says it in the comics. I don't think
no,
he's ever
that's
said,
that
let's
is
get
a
nuts.
Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne thing right there. But it's
Yeah, Bruce says it.
one of my favorite lines in that movie, though. Come on. It's a quotable line. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So, people said it looked good. They're still, of course, dealing with the Ezra Miller situation over there. Here's something interesting that I learned. So, Olivia Wilde's up there, right? Olivia Wilde. She's got a movie coming out. She's up there, and somehow this lady gets all the way to the front of the stage during her presentation with the manila envelope and slides it to her somehow. And everyone's watching this. Olivia Wilde picks it up, and everybody assumes that maybe like it's a script. Someone's slipping her a script. She takes it out, looks at it. She puts it back and just goes on. Doesn't even mention it. Goes on with the presentation. Apparently, these were custody papers because she's in the middle of a custody battle over children with Jason Sudeikis. She got served fucking custody papers in the middle of her presentation. How that person got to the stage, I'm not sure.
Well played.
But so
I
Sudeikis,
find that to be unbelievable.
yes.
Yeah, that's some crazy, like, Machiavellian shit going
But
on.
Jason Sudeikis went on record saying he did not know when she was going to get
Sure.
served, right? Then
course.
I read another
Yeah.
article from a lawyer who goes, "There's no way Sudeikis didn't know when this was going to happen. The clients are informed when and where every step of the way." He's like, "I find it hard to believe that he didn't know this was going to happen
Oh, yeah.
in public." I was like, "Damn, that's
That's
some
his,
cold shit."
He was doing his Ted asshole.
He did Ted. Yeah, it's Ted Esso, not the Lasso. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that was a crazy moment. So yeah, that happened. There's a Shazam 2 trailer that should be out soon. They show that Aquaman 2 featurette showing Black Manta as the bad guy. With
See all the petitions to get what's her name?
Amber Heard,
out of the
yes.
movie.
It's up to 3 million.
I want her
signatures.
to be in the movie more.
Can I sign a petition? Can we double? So, okay, a couple of things. There's a petition I've heard. It's up to 3 million names to get her out of the Aquaman 2. Apparently, she has.
What? For what? Why?
I don't know. It shouldn't.
She almost killed Johnny Depp. I mean,
Because she's
she threw
punching
a
him.
bottle at him. Like, I mean, okay, like, doesn't mean she shouldn't be in a movie. Like, if she got arrested for it or whatever, they still don't even know what happened.
Apparently, she's got like 10
Not to
minutes in the
defend
movie.
her, but she's
Right.
probably nuts. But like, yeah, I don't know what people are so upset about.
Well, but think about Warner Brothers in this presentation. They got 2 movies with 2 separate problematic talent.
Yeah.
And
Well, this dude's just getting in trouble with the cops and stuff. Like, cops are called.
Yeah.
There's things happening.
Ezra Miller, yeah.
There's complete strangers.
But will they treat both cases equally? This is going to be interesting. If they have a sort of punishment for one, does it carry over to the other?
Well, one guy could go to jail. There's a difference.
Correct.
Well, like, one thing is like a domestic dispute where it's
Right.
like you don't even know what's happening. He said, she said, like, they're both
It's
obviously
more court of public opinion
weird.
at this point.
Yeah. You know, all kinds of crazy shit. There's people going to the bathroom on beds. There's bottles being thrown.
Yes.
There's all kinds of shit. There's like, you know, yeah, this is a whole ball. This is like, dude, or they are fucking with regular
They're
people.
throwing shit at people.
Like, unhinged.
threatening them. Yeah.
Like, you're not safe from Ezra Miller.
No.
Like,
No,
if you
don't go to
fucking
Hawaii.
look at this dude wrong, or this I don't know, this person the wrong way.
They will punch the shit out of you, probably.
Yeah, well, you don't know what they're going to do.
I'll say this about Ezra Miller. If I saw him in public, or saw them in public,
Right.
I'm willing to bet if we locked the room, I'm coming out of that room alive, and he's not.
I'll put my,
I just don't think
I'll
I
put
don't think
money
they're
on
a
that.
threat. I don't think they're a threat.
Okay, that's fair
Well,
enough too.
it
I mean,
depends.
they are definitely a menace to society
All right.
right now. But what I'm also saying is, if someone just punches that guy in the face,
Well, okay,
it's over.
let's change the who's in the room. If Imran's in the room with Ezra Miller, who comes out?
I think they're both staying in the room forever.
Is there a chair?
They're blowing each other.
Is there anything he can throw at me in the room? I need to know. Is this a clean room? Can he throw a chair at me?
Imran would just immediately start blowing.
I think I could take Ezra Miller.
I don't think there would be a discussion.
Oh, if
Imran
it came
would
down to
immediately-
that, I could probably take them. I'll take them in the
Imran
way.
you ever thrown a
roll
punch in
on
your
the
life?
floor and
Have
expose
I?
his belly.
I mean, with
Have you ever been into an altercation with another man?
no. Not really. I don't know what, like, as an adult, what it feels like to have, like, land, a punch. So
Not something to be proud of.
no, I
just-
don't.
I'm just
I don't
curious.
have that experience. I don't want to have that experience. But sometimes you need to have that experience. It depends on the
I
situation.
crave it, but
You crave it, the hunters it. Yes. All right, and then the last thing, Warner Brothers surprise, The Rock shows up, and he's got a Black Adam trailer. So we're probably going to see that also
I would like to see it.
coming soon. I don't know if any of this stuff, none of it seems to have hit the YouTubes or anything. Maybe they're going to wait a little while. Let's finish up with Disney. Feige comes out, and he said he was just at this retreat, and when he's done here, he's going to go back to retreat, and they are sitting down, and they are planning out the next 10 years of the MCU. So,
Oh shit.
we're going to
I
have,
would love to be at this retreat.
right? What
Yeah.
I mean, I love that he's actually thinking about, like, you don't got to worry about it. This shit ain't going away, at least for another 10 years.
I wonder if there's strange rules at this retreat. Like, do you have to be naked the whole time?
You can't look anyone in the eye.
It becomes a Waco situation.
Yeah.
Anthony, what do you think what do you think they're planning here?
I mean, who knows, right? I would think in the next 10 years, they're more than likely adding in mutants. They're more than likely planning out different aspects of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it be Midnight Suns, X-Men, Avengers spinoffs, multiverse stuff. I'm just curious how they plot all of this, because I remember reading something a while back where everyone thought they had this grand plan for all this stuff,
Yeah.
and Feige was basically like, yeah, a lot of it we just came up with on the fly.
Well, there's some other. We got a news story that kind of confirms that, like, maybe the order of movies isn't as connected as we thought, but you got to have a big outline, right? So I would love to see, like, the whiteboard, the big picture thing.
Yeah.
What names, what titles, what IP is on there.
100%. Yeah, that would be. I mean, it'd be cool to see what that is.
That'd be amazing. We're not going to see that, but it's good
No.
to see that he's thinking about it. It's not going anywhere. Let's see if we can keep up the fucking momentum. They did screen the first 20 minutes of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, a movie that is premiering right now as we record Monday night. It is premiering now. It's going to be shown, so if you don't want spoilers, we'll talk about it a little bit later, because they have been the TV spots with spoilers. Stay off the internet. But it will be out for reviewers, and it's coming out this week. We'll get to that in a second. There was nothing on Thor 4. They showed a little bit of Black Panther 2. And then big Avatar news. We have the name of the sequel that's coming out next year. It's called
What's it called?
Avatar: The Way of the Water. I don't know.
Lame.
I don't know if I really enjoy that title.
Well, we'll see if Cameron still got it, because that's all he's been working on for 20 years.
For
or whatever
25
hell
years
he's-
since the last movie
75
came out.
years.
Yes, it seems like that. It's been 13 years. We will see very soon. They showed him a teaser trailer that is going to first appear in front of Doctor Strange 2 in theaters before hitting online a week later.
What's funny about Avatar is that I remember when that movie came out, how big it was and how it brought back 3D, and it's still one of the all-time top grossing movies ever.
Yeah.
But for a movie that big, at least in my opinion, like, it's not a part of the cultural zeitgeist that you would think it is supposed to be. Like, all his other movies are still talked about, but no one really talks about Avatar, in my opinion.
No, you're right. And it's going to be interesting to see if people still fucking care about Avatar. It's coming out in December, but they are going to re-release a remastered version of the first one, which I think is a smart move because it's been 13 years. In the theaters, it's still one of the best 3D movies I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, because he actually thought about the 3D.
And same with this one. This thing is shot entirely in 3D. It's underwater.
He's doing 3D again?
I believe so.
Wow.
And from what I read of some of the description,
5D.
He's doing 5. Yeah, it's going to be up your nose. The movie
Yeah.
goes into your nose holes.
They filled the theater with water. So you and
Rugs, does Cameron still have it? Can he make people care about Avatar again?
I don't know, but if anyone can do it,
It's going to be him.
It's the Can Man.
The Can Man can't.
That's right.
I mean, every other movie he's made, for the most part, is still talked about to this day.
Yeah.
But not many people talk about Avatar the same way.
And you forget, and they call it Dances with Wolves or a Fern Gully ripoff. But it's still, I might watch it again. It's still pretty spectacular and visually arresting. I don't know if I'll go to the theaters.
Name one line in Avatar.
I can't even think of one.
Right?
But the family is back in this movie.
You can definitely think of a line from Titanic.
Yeah. Terminator.
Terminator.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Every other Cameron movie, yes. Yeah,
There's
there's no catchphrase.
What's the moment? Or what's the moment you think of in Avatar?
Sully. The guy's name is Sully, right? Is that one of the characters?
I think so.
They got long tails and they plug it into the butt of the flying thing. I don't know. They fly around. I don't know. There's no catchphrase, right? The Navi.
There's no moment where you go, you ride on that movie and go, I always can think of that.
It's true. It's very true. That's why nobody talks about it.
I like when they ride the animals for the first time.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. And it goes off the cliff and you go down and then you swoop up
But
with
is that
him.
as big a moment as when Leo draws Rose naked with the pendant on?
Oh.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Or where he's on the bow of the ship and he's, yeah.
Or the moment when what's his face? The T-1000 goes through the jail cell and the guy, the toothpick drops out of the guy's mouth. He's like, what the fuck?
That movie is full of moments. Every moment in that movie is amazing and iconic.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's such a fucking great movie.
It's just weird that movie, and Avatar's, I think, first or second all time, and yet no one talks about Avatar. No one's like, man, you know what movie I really love to rewatch? Avatar.
No, it's nobody's Christmas movie.
No, it's not a movie that's it's not an extremely rewatchable movie, even though it's a good movie, but no one's.
It's just long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 4 more coming, so fucking strap it.
3 more, right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 more.
4 more. There'll be 5 total.
Apparently he's been hanging out underwater all these years and
I think
doing shit.
Yeah, I think he has gills now.
Yeah.
He's mutated. He's a fucking
We'll
Aquaman.
see. What I'll say about Cameron is we'll see how it fares when it comes out, but if it stinks, everyone's going to look back at this and be like, man, you had all these years and we get that you're in a position to do what you want, but we wish you would have done other things and just focus on Avatar.
He could have done, how many things could he have done in 13 years and franchises created? And I mean, he helped a little bit with that, the Robert Rodriguez movie, right? With
Alita, yeah.
Yeah, Alita Battle Angel, which I kind of like that movie. It's fucking, that movie looked cool. So
yeah, everything kind of rides on if these sequels are good.
This is what you've been fucking hiding out for. This better be fucking good. Okay, back to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness coming out this week. Can't wait to see it. I was watching the premiere. I'm so pumped. Where's the pumped?
He is too.
Pumped. Yeah, me too.
Now, just before we started recording, Anthony, we were talking about how there's a lot spoilers. Like, do spoilers even care? Do the studios even care anymore? Because they are putting out so many TV spots revealing some of the cameos that we have been guessing about this whole time, and now it's concretely in the fucking thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say them because they are spoilers, and even though they're on TV, I don't want to ruin it for people that are holding out for the movie. But what I'll say is, they are showing things, which makes me think either one of 2 things: 1, they're getting desperate with the marketing, which I don't like, or 2, that there's more in the movie, and this is just a tease of what there is to come.
I hope it's
it's like a gimme.
Yeah.
I hope it's 2, and everything we've seen is in the first half hour of the movie, right? And then
or it's just there's so much that they're gonna throw in there that they can give you these breadcrumbs because there's a lot more.
Jeez, there's got to be a lot more if
I hope so. I hope they're not
doing
doing it because they're looking at the marketing and going, man, this is trending not the right way, and we need to start beefing this up.
I don't think there's any reason to give away anything to get people in the theaters. People are already going. It's like, who are they selling this movie to? There's already, did they not already? I went and bought tickets. Every seat was full.
I know, right? Me too. On that Thursday, I was like, oh shit, this was weeks ago. The fucking shit was full. And it's also interesting. This is a movie like, what is prerequisite viewing, say, for someone? You can't just walk into this, right? There's a bunch of movies. I think you got to watch like all 7 of the movies that Doctor Strange is in.
You're not getting like casual. Oh, what do you want to see tonight? They got this Doctor Strange movie. Do you want to see that? I don't know. I didn't see the other ones.
And it's going to be hard. Doing that? Well, it's going to be hard bringing someone who's not in the MCU, because not only would they have to have watched the first movie, not only would they have to have gotten through Infinity War and Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home, they would have had to sit through a whole season of television.
Yeah,
to understand all of this.
I really don't think that they're thinking it through. They're like, they're just wasting. They're wasting the theater experience. Think about how much better the theater experience if you don't know that much going in.
Yeah, I was surprised. This isn't a spoiler, but I was surprised that even in that first or second trailer we got, that you could hear Patrick Stewart's voice.
That was amazing that they let that out. I was like, oh shit, they're doing this.
Yeah, I thought that was a strange thing to do. No pun intended.
Well, they did it with Thor Ragnarok. Like, I really wish they hadn't shown Hulk talking. Like, imagine if you had watched that, he didn't know Hulk was going to speak. That would have been crazy. But I think anticipation is still high. They're still expecting this to open $150 million plus, maybe 175, maybe 200. That was our estimate.
Should we give our prediction?
I'm putting mine at 185 now.
185.
I'm going to say 185. It's probably going to break that.
And what's the prediction?
Anywhere from 150 to 200 million.
I'm going to go. I went conservative last time and it bit me in the asshole.
Oh, right.
So I'm going to go 200.
Oh, see, I think that's a good one.
I'm going to go 220.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Oh, 220. I mean, again, mentioned Spider-Man opened to 260. It's not going to do Spider-Man numbers.
If they're showing stuff because they got more in the tank, then they're going to break records because people are going to be talking about it.
Once people start talking about it, yeah. There is a great article from Rolling Stone. It's an interview with Sam Raimi. You learn a lot of interesting things, such as his plan for Spider-Man 4 was to have Bruce Campbell be Mysterio. And he also wanted to use Kraven the Hunter in Spider-Man 4. That never happened. My question is, do we get a Bruce Campbell cameo and or Sam Raimi's car? Both of those things are always in every Sam Raimi movie.
Yes.
Which is Sam Raimi's car?
It's like the big gold Impala, Chevy Impala.
Oh, the Uncle Ben car?
Yes, the Uncle Ben car. That is Sam Raimi's car.
Oh.
He puts that in every movie. And I can't wait to see the Bruce Campbell cameo. And then the other interesting bit was about him working with Kevin Feige, and the irony that when he was making the Spider-Man movies, which came out 20 years ago, the first movie. Think about that. That's crazy. He did that movie 20 years ago. Kevin Feige was there, right? As like a production assistant. Now, 20 years later, he's working for Kevin Feige. He's like, that was crazy to get reunited with him. But they only showed him key moments of WandaVision. He has not watched the whole series. They only showed him the important things. And he said they were writing the ending as they were shooting. They changed a lot of shit because not only was this supposed to come out before Spider-Man, it was supposed to come out before WandaVision, this movie. So a lot of last minute, I don't know how this is going to end up, but he's shooting things on the fly as they're writing them. He's talking about kind of the creative freedom, which, will this be a Sam Raimi movie? Yes, sure. But still, again, you're going to have these little benchmarks you got to hit, these little landmarks.
I'm curious to see how much of his flavor is within in the Marvel sandbox.
Sounds like it's really scary, like a lot of the horror element. He'll bring that. But yeah, no, he's just hired on. Like he came on mid-production once they lost Scott Derrickson, right? So this isn't right. This is someone just picking up, trying to finish the job, but injecting his style, which is what we all want to see.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think what's his name, Sean Chandler.
Yeah.
Made an interesting point. He goes, of all the things Raimi could be working on, Raimi looked at this script and went, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. Marvel.
Yeah. That means something.
So he's like, you have to kind of trust, hopefully, that his judgment, he's, the great director that he is, that he's going, okay, this is worth me coming back to Marvel.
Yeah, but they had a guy that was doing it, and now he's doing it. So they had a lot of it kind of figured out, right? So I feel like he saw that he could add something to what they already had in mind. And I think that's what made it palatable for him. And hopefully it works out, because I want Raimi to be back in a big way.
Me too, dude. And his aesthetic, I think, suits this Doctor Strange and where they are very nicely. So yeah, he said he liked the first one, and he's watched the Marvel movies. So didn't watch all of WandaVision, but he's watched the movies.
I wonder if Raimi would make a Xena movie.
Oh my God, with Ted Raimi, you got to put Ted Raimi in it. Oh, will Ted Raimi be in this also? All right, keep an eye out for Bruce Campbell cameo, a Ted Raimi cameo, and Sam Raimi's car.
Right,
things to look out for. So remember that we're talking about Kevin Feige's planning the next 10 years. These movies come out in a certain order, but lately things have been shifted, juggled around. Is the order important? Is it not? I don't know, because Marvel announced that they're flipping the release dates for 2 movies next year, The Marvels and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. All right, so the Ant-Man 3 moves from July 28, 2023 up to February 17, 2023, while Captain Marvel moves from that February 17th date to the July 28th date. Now, that fine, but I guess does the order of these movies not matter anymore? Or are they just adjusting on the fly?
Did Captain Marvel really have anything to do with the continuity of everything?
The first one?
Other than introducing the Skrulls, that's the only thing that was of value, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen any Skrull action since
Secret Invasion. They said they were going to do that.
They're doing it. They're doing the show. That is going to be a Disney Plus show.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Does it have to? It could, if it's taking place up in outer space somewhere. I don't think it's not that. I don't think it's major in continuity.
Well, their reason also is that Ant-Man is just further along in production. And
Ant-Man was basically done filming a while ago.
Yeah, I think that's a slam dunk, because you don't know what you're getting with Ant-Man.
Also, the Marvels has Kamala Khan, and we don't know how people are going to react to this Kamala Khan yet, so they can take time to look at that.
Well, they were struggling with this movie. They sidelined Brie Larson a little bit and added 2 other characters that's making an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
They're introducing a character that was it supposed to be out already, Miss Marvel?
Maybe, I don't know. All the shows.
That's a great answer.
I think all the shows have been slightly
Miss Marvel
delayed.
at one point was supposed to come out last year, I think.
Oh, okay.
And it got delayed.
So all of that stuff is probably a factor. So I don't know. It's probably a good decision.
I think probably, because if this one is done already, just fucking put it out. We get Kang earlier, so I'm excited.
Ooh, geek boner.
Excited about that. And then last bit of MCU news. This is kind of big. We're going into this phase 4, going into phase 5. We've seen that they're working on a Fantastic Four movie that they announced. John Watts, who directed all the 3 Spider-Man movies, was going to be the director for the Fantastic Four reboot. Well, he's no longer the director. He's walking. They're parting ways. Oh, is that a good thing?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, John Watts doesn't do much for me. So, I mean, he's competent. He does everything fine, but it doesn't stand out to me as great filmmaking.
I mean, I'll agree.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think John Watts can do what he's told, and I think he can create somewhat of an atmosphere. But as far as visually, there's not a lot that's very stunning about his stuff. I think the biggest thing that John Watts has going in his favor is he didn't screw up No Way Home.
Yes,
he made it good enough so that people could go apeshit over it.
Yeah.
But that movie, as far as its style, I think the script was actually, the second half of that script was really the winner in that thing.
Right. I think that his strength is working with actors and creating a dialogue and kind of a fun, a fun back and forth dialogue, cute stuff. I think he's good with that.
He said he just needs a break from superhero movies after the three, and I don't blame him, right? I think out of the three, No Way Home probably his strongest outing as a director.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Very competent. But again, like you said, a lot of that relied on, we have this nostalgia play. We got these people coming back. Like,
if you really look at that movie, it's not the greatest film. It just has a lot of heart to it.
It has a lot of heart. It has a lot of nostalgia. It has a lot of fun cameos. You know, you just kind of have to point the camera, make it look nice. Very basic. But he did it well.
Yeah.
I think the bigger issue is that this Fantastic Four movie, we've seen how not to make it. I think there's maybe one or two ways to actually make this work, and it's going to be really hard to find that.
They've made this movie already 3 times, right? Or 4 if you count the Roger Corman.
Yeah.
All right. So they've already made this fucking movie. Like, I don't know. You need somebody who's going to look at it completely different. And
which I'll give Josh Trank credit for the first half of his movie. It was a little bit different. He was trying something different. But then there's a train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him any credit on that. But
like Tim's story, wasn't that far off either. I think it still had. It just was. The movie was just too small. You know what I mean?
Yeah, too small, and there was some bad. I mean, Jessica Alba is terrible. Sue Storm,
right? But she's still hot.
She's great to look at. Yes,
but like Tim's story kind of captured. The idea of what Fantastic, the essence of what it was.
The family of it, he kind of captured a little bit.
It just casting was bad. Like Doctor Doom was not cool. So I think that they screwed up those, and they've gotten Doctor Doom wrong like every single movie. So I don't know what that's about.
Well, the good thing is that Watts is leaving, and I don't think they're probably writing a script or in the process, but there's they don't have a cast, they don't have anything. So whoever comes in can still kind of put their fingerprints all over it. It's not like this isn't a Sam Raimi, Scott Derrickson, where the movie's already
got a clean
way
slate,
in motion.
yeah.
And
I don't know who can take it. I think you need another director, like this John Watts has the Spider-Man, Peyton Reed's has got the
Robert
Ant-Man.
Zemeckis. That's who you need.
Oh,
you need Robert Zemeckis would be pretty.
That would be
good.
interesting.
I don't know if Marvel would do that,
Yeah.
but that'd be amazing if they got Robert Zemeckis. You really need to double down on the family aspect of it. And I think, I saw this from Nando versus movies, but I don't think you don't do the Doctor Strange or Doctor Doom thing right away.
Yeah,
I think you'd go I think you go a different route.
What about Brad Bird?
Well, I was going to say, you want a live action Incredibles, why not get the guy who did the animated Incredibles? That's not a bad idea, Rex.
Yeah.
To do it live action.
I feel like we already know what we're getting.
Yeah.
But at least it's going to be good.
God, it's a tricky property, though. You got fucking stretchy powers that don't always look great. Is it a throwback to the 60s? Is it time shifted? Like, there's something in that idea that's kind of neat. Can you make...
It's the whole, like, somewhat dysfunctional, but also super close family.
Yeah.
That's what it all comes down to. And you have to have a cast that has good chemistry with one another that you believe. You have to believe that Johnny and the Thing are always at odds.
Yeah.
You have to believe that the Thing and Reed are the best of friends.
Yeah.
You have to believe that and that Sue is actually a scientist and would be romantically linked to this fucking nerd named Reed Richards.
And she's the brother of Johnny, and they have they're siblings. You know what? The guy who did Shazam would have been a good fucking. He could have pulled it off, baby.
I like that guy. The guy that did Shazam. That's a very similar vibe.
It's a very similar vibe. That's kind of what you got to do, but it's just very tricky.
You got to do you got to kind of feel like. I feel like you got to go and kind of like the Shazam vibe, where it's like kind of 80s.
Yeah,
where it's that kind of throwback feel.
But will that work in the MCU with the other?
Yeah,
I guess it could.
And then you go like weird science-y with it.
Oh my God, that's
80s.
that's fun too. Like Zemeckis could bring that Back to the Future kind of flair. Oh, there's something there. They're gonna figure it out. Leave it to Feige. He's gonna have to figure this out. John Watts, he gone.
What's Richard Donner doing? Is he still around?
He's dead, isn't he?
Is he dead?
I don't think he's alive.
Oh, fuck.
But
Yeah,
he'd have been, if he was, he'd be really old. Get George Miller. Is he still alive? George Miller would do fantastic.
George Miller's still alive.
Oh my God.
Don't get George
That would be
Miller.
the fucking craziest
Can
movie
you
you've ever
imagine
seen.
That's nothing like
George Miller doing the Fantastic Four would be insane.
Zemeckis would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Zemeckis would be good.
They'll probably I don't know what they're gonna do.
Ron Howard.
They're hiring.
Do you bring Ron Howard over now from the Star Wars? I know. I don't want the Ron Howard.
I like Ron Howard,
I like
but
him.
I don't know.
I want him for this.
Like Ron Howard's like a Zemeckis can get Zemeckis.
Yep. He could do the family bit and the heart emotion.
Yeah.
But like, look at Solo. Like Solo was okay. Like, it was
Yeah, but
good.
he came in like.
Oh, yeah,
you,
he-
have to
that's right.
you have to have him at the beginning.
That's right. He was.
It was Lord and Miller were doing that.
That's
right.
right. They got
Yeah, he did
fired.
a
He had to
cleanup
clean
job.
that up.
He had to
Yeah.
reshoot the whole fucking movie.
That's never a position that
No.
you want to be in.
No.
You
And like,
never want to fucking have sloppy seconds on a
I
movie.
mean, he put out a movie. Somehow.
Fuck it. Just you know what, Joss, what are you doing? Come back.
Oh shit! Has it been long enough? Has everybody forgotten? Can we get Joss Whedon to come back
Oh,
and do
that-
another Marvel movie?
Like-
No.
Like, yeah, let him come back. Like, I mean,
Give him the hardest thing. Like, look, you really want to redeem yourself.
listen, I'm making a fucking movie about a family. God damn it!
Keep it clean.
He's always.
I'm gonna fire everyone on this set. I don't know.
He's always made family type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Firefly is right
Yeah.
there.
Dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional family.
Avengers is basically a dysfunctional team up
Absolutely.
movie.
Absolutely. They'll get someone.
Gunn
Of
could
course.
do it,
Who?
but Gunn.
Gunn could do
Oh,
it. Yeah.
James Gunn. He's busy. He's got the
He could do
Guardians.
it. He could do that in his sleep.
You need another fresh person who's has done another.
Well,
Marvel
that's the
property.
thing. They've Marvel's two routes have been someone that's kind of done stuff, or the up and coming guy.
Right.
That's what they're.
Well, you
doing
need a
things.
guy that like Raimi, who's like, he's kind of like, he's not able to just greenlight a movie anymore.
Mhm.
Like he used to have that power, but he's kind of fallen out. So like, he's be more inclined to join Marvel, up with Marvel.
Do you get Edgar Wright back? I feel like that's not a match either.
Or Edgar Wright
No.
wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it, and
he
it wouldn't
doesn't
be right.
fucking want to do
Well,
it.
Marvel's original, like before, like the first phase, they were kind of doing the back end director that was not
What about
able to greenlight
Fabs?
stuff. Fabs would be good.
Oh, John Favreau would do. I think he could do a
He
Fantastic
could
Four
get
movie.
Fabs back. He can get him back.
Yeah,
Well, see if he's not busy with Star Wars.
yeah, he's running Star Wars over there. He's running the Mando.
That's right.
What? He could definitely hit that kind of flavor.
Because I was going to say they were doing Thor's casting or director was Kenneth
fucking
Branagh,
Branagh, right?
and then Captain America was Joe Johnston. So they were
Yeah.
doing like the
Yeah.
Joe
directors that
Johnson
have
could
done
probably do it. He's not
stuff.
doing
I was thinking
any.
about Joe Johnston.
And then remember, you got Louis Leterrier who did the Hulk.
no, that's not good. That's not. Don't
He's-
bring that guy. But Joe Johnston's not
Joe
bad.
Johnston. What about a Joe Carnahan? He's another action guy, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to do this.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
Joe Carnahan would be good for like fucking like
Punisher.
Punisher. I don't know about maybe Punisher, but like yeah, you want somebody who can get the relationship dynamics down, that can do action as well, and like
Yeah.
make it theatrical. You want. I mean, like as I said, Zemeckis would be a great guy. Ron Howard could probably do it. James Gunn, Joe Johnston, possibly. I can't think of anybody else who's done really big movies that's still making movies right now that are good.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad Bird's an easy one too.
those are all great names. I still think this property is tricky to make. You know what's not tricky, listener, is buying a podcast
H3
T-shirt.
Sirocco. Oh, no.
Oh, it's tricky. Oh, you doing some Run DMC, you young buck?
You young buck.
Fucking, who's quoting 40-year-old songs now? Let me just ask you that. What's not tricky is getting some podcast swag from our T-Public shop. Visit jockandnerd.com/shop. You can get a hoodie.
Better known as Poop Public.
Poop night shops there.
Fucking guy.
See, you're still bringing it up. You don't like the joke, but you're bringing it up. It was a bad joke. It was a bad joke. I'll give it that much. But there's good merch over at our public shop with the Rug Boys face, our logo, hoodies, tank tops, summertime wear to go out, promote the show, get it. Link in the show notes. Okay, last thing in the news, a little bit of sad news.
This is the longest news ever.
I know. But we had a lot to talk about. We have to say goodbye to a legendary comic book artist and author, creator, Neal Adams, passed away, age 80. Last week,
Wow.
And this is a big one, dude. This is a guy that's invented a bunch of characters, but literally changed comics that, inspired creators on the artistic side and changed the content of comics on the content side. Lasting effects. Without him, you never get Frank Miller Dark Knight. You never get Bill Sienkiewicz Daredevil. You don't get these things. Ruggs, what do you know about the Neal Adams?
Well, Neal Adams is the guy who he was working in advertising, and then he started doing comic books, comic strips, and he really wanted to do Batman, but no one would let him near fucking Batman. Anyway, so finally him and Denny O'Neil got this idea to start working on Batman the Brave and the Bold. And everybody started reading that version of Batman because the other version of Batman was the kind of like the 60s schlocky, made for kids Batman. And then he kind of started doing his own thing on the Brave and the Bold. And so they said, hey, why can't you do this on regular Batman? So he finally got to do the flagship Batman comic, and he started to make Batman more realistic, back to his roots. Like he wasn't killing people like he was originally doing with Bob Kane, and
he was grittier and darker. Yeah. Dude, he's the guy that brought Batman back from the camp. If you read those early 70s, late 60s, early 70s Batmans, they're so good. Oh my God, they're so good.
He did that, the Green Lantern and the Green Arrow with the famous heroin cover.
Heroin addiction, and that changed, challenged the Comics Code Authority. Also drew X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers for Marvel.
Yeah, he drew X-Men for a while.
Yeah, no, this guy changed a lot of things. And
he had his own comic book label, Continuity Comics.
Oh, yeah.
But he left the comic book industry after a while and just started an advertising illustration company. Oh. And he did that. And he just did conventions to kind of stay in the game. But he was kind of out of the business. I think he came back recently.
He did some more recent Batman stuff. And I bought that
covers, a lot of covers.
He did a lot of covers. A lot of people met him at conventions and just say he was the nicest guy. Anthony, you read any Neal Adams? Are you familiar with the Neal Adams?
I've heard the name. I'm not sure if I've read any Neal Adams. So.
He was famous for Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, yeah. So he created Ra's al Ghul and John Stewart, Green Lantern.
That's right. John Stewart.
Created both of those important characters. For anyone, listener, go out there, find some 70s Batmans, find some Neal Adams storylines. You will not be sorry. Go read it. Remember the man. Prolific fucking comic book legend.
He was pissed at Marvel. Because
he was a pro-creator rights, heavy pro-creator rights guy.
Yes, and he got a check from DC I forgot what they were making, but they used one of his characters in a movie, and they just cut him a check for $100,000, and yet Marvel never gave him any money for any of the characters that he created.
Wow, at least DC gave him something. That's the thing. Yes, something. Jesus.
So he's like, "Fuck Marvel!" Like they're a bunch of douchebags.
No, there's still stories coming out. Like the guy who created America Chavez, we just went out to say oh, they never contacted me. They never come me. They didn't tell me they were doing this. They didn't cut me a check. They forget about their fucking creators until later, and then they just give them a little credit at the end.
I used to have Neal Adams on my shirts.
Oh yeah,
so I had all of the Batman shirts.
Yes,
when the movie came out, a lot of those Batman shirts, a lot of those designs of Batman that they had on the shirts were all Neal Adams drawings.
He drew some of the most iconic fucking Batman drawings.
And I think they had those figures that came out that were modeled after his Batman too, with the long ears. So he really. He made Batman cool again.
I mean, I think Bernie Wrightson was influenced by him because he would draw Batman with long ears, just like Neal Adams, and he did make Batman fucking dark and cool.
But he was a really good artist, and really good anatomy and drama, storytelling. It was all there. This dude's like a legend. So, check him out if you haven't. There's there's Marvel and DC and independent comics that he's done. So, yeah.
That's right.
Rest in peace, Neal Adams, one of my heroes.
Yes, one of my heroes too. Legend. With that, we'll take a quick break, play some promos, and we got episode 5 of Moon Knight to discuss right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Aisla.
And together we are the hosts of the Bicurian podcast.
Bicurian is our answer to the polarizing culture we live in.
Tired of feeling under siege and looking for ways to get involved? Then come be a part of a different way of thinking.
Everything from politics to geek culture to current events that polarize us as a society. We explore multiple ways of looking at things. Please check us out at Bicurian.com and follow us on your favorite social media platform of choice.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite because it's also character driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on radio worldwide 7 days a week or at any time on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoyed this podcast, you should join our fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. Link in the show notes. You can support the show on a monthly or annual basis and get bonus content, get access benefits. You get a RSS feed, an exclusive RSS feed with bonus content. The shows come out early, instant reactions, post shows. This week, I did see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I put up a quick review. More on that movie later. At the end of the show. It's a fucking wild movie. You also get Discord benefits. We do a monthly geek hangout just for our Patreon members. May's hangout will be tentatively Thursday, May 19th, 8 p.m. Central Time. And there's also a You Pick It tier where you can force us to watch and review any movie you want. And that's always fun. So, if that sounds good, you like the show, you want to give back, show your love.
Show your love.
Show your love. Join the fan club, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Let's get to Moon Knight. We are up to the penultimate episode.
Oh,
See, I
love a good penultimate.
I love a good penultimate. Episode 5. Here's your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This one titled Asylum, directed by Mohammed Diab this week. Anthony, what happens in Asylum?
In Asylum, we are going through the inception levels of Mark Spector's consciousness as he tries to deal with the fallout of him getting shot and potentially trying to get out of the hole he's in with basically either going to hell or heaven or back to earth. But to do that, he's got to him and Steven have got to confront their past and really reveal everything to one another for themselves to get out of this situation. So it's a tour. It's an introspective episode similar to a lot of the penultimate episodes that we've seen from other Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Episode 5s. We talked about how episode 4s end on a big twisty something or other. The episode 5s generally deal with the trauma in the character's
in terms
past.
of WandaVision.
Or right, the penultimate. You go back into the past. There's always a connection to the past. And they've done the same thing here and kind of, look, man, this episode's crazy. They're on the fucking boat in the Egyptian underworld, the Duat, all their memories are there. And it's a super emotional origin story, kind of a clever way to finally show us Mark Spector's origin. Anthony, what did you think overall? And we're at penultimate.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like kind of the introspective episodes where they can really dive into the character and you kind of learn more about why the character the way they are. This was somewhat of the origin story for him. Really.
Absolutely, yeah.
They told it in episode 5, so I liked it. I thought the interplay again. I think Oscar Isaac's doing a really good job.
Oh my gosh.
Switching between all the personalities, and this is one of those episodes where a somewhat imaginary character, I put that in quotes, perishes, and we're all like, oh damn, I wish that character wasn't leaving us. So we'll see where that goes. But I really liked the episode. The only drawback I had was there was some very obvious green screen used in this episode that was very obvious to me and was kind of distracting
Really?
at times. Oh
I
yeah,
did not. That didn't really bother me. That's interesting. I'm trying to think.
But other than that,
well,
I thought it was a fun little episode, and I thought not fun. Actually, it's not a very fun
No,
episode.
it
It's
is
actually kind of a darker episode. But I liked the tar writ, and I just like the way they set it up, and I like when Marvel goes a little crazier than normal.
Yeah.
And this one was a lot crazier than they normally go.
I mean, lots of trauma and pain in this phase 4 of Marvel in these shows, at least already we have seen. In this one, Oscar Isaac fucking killing it, breaking down and crying as two separate characters, and you buy both of them. You know, he is so good. And yeah, it's not only an origin for Moon Knight, it is an origin for Stephen Grant himself. Ruggs, what did you walk away this episode feeling?
Confused.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right.
Not like a lot confused, just like certain things I didn't understand. Like, for example, I don't know why Stephen Grant was invented to get the beating and then not remember it.
That one was a little weird for me. I didn't understand
So,
that.
like,
okay.
like,
Yeah.
and then, you know, and Tara is not supposed to be, that's not her job to be, escorting the dead, you know. That's Osiris's job or something, you know. So like, I don't know. It's like, I'm a little confused about why things are, maybe it'll be revealed at the end. They alluded to Jake Loxley, but
where did we see the Jake Lockleys? I think there's a few spots.
Yeah, when he has a broken nose.
Yes, and right in the
he's
beginning.
Talking differently.
Yes. Yep.
He has like he's kind of got a more of a seedy accent.
He uses a third accent occasionally, yes.
So we get to see a bit of him there, but they didn't really go into that yet.
I was surprised. I thought we would get more third personality.
The thing that bugs me is that the next episode is kind of like, that's it. We have to now figure out, you know, what Ethan Hawke is doing and why. Like Amit, he can, you know. So this is what's happened. So Khonshu is in that fucking statue. He can't do shit, right?
Yep.
Because he's a statue.
They gotta free him still.
And Amit's also a statue. So why can Amit use her power?
Well, Amit's
on
out.
Harrow.
It seems like Harrow has freed Amit because you see when they're going through the underworld, there are souls falling down. And Tower, it says Amit is
but this whole time he's been able to do things with Amit locked up. So now that we know the rule is if you lock up a god, they can't help you anymore.
Well, I think the thing that that cane that Harrow has, he always says this is a sliver of Amit's power. So I think that cane was probably the vessel for him to access that.
So is there like something like that we can use for Khonshu?
Perhaps.
And then you also see that there's a dead bird bones as they're walking into the cave.
Yep.
So then I'm like, okay, maybe this is this whole thing is a fabrication.
I think how he sees Khonshu is specific to him. You realize at the end, we only see Khonshu when you see Mark's origin and he accepts, you know, we find out Khonshu's been manipulating him the whole time. We're there to see the inception of Moon Knight. And then, until then, he's just a statue talking. Then you see the version of Khonshu we've seen, and I think that's tied to he stepped on the dead bird. You know, so the important beats to remember is we learn about Mark had a brother named Randall. That's like in the comics. In the comics, Randall goes bad and becomes a supervillain as an adult, and Mark has to kill him.
That's true.
Here, Mark, it's not his fault, but his mom blames him. His brother drowns in the cave. So that we also see that he is Jewish, like in the comics. And then we realize that his mother, for the rest of his life, treated him like shit, blaming him which was rough when she's just screaming at him like, this is all your fault at his fucking Shiva. And then the birthday scenes where she's giving him shit. I'm like, God damn. That ultimately leading to the creation of Stephen Grant, which Stephen Grant witnesses. So now Stephen knows that he's the made up one, fucks his whole world up to realize he's not the original.
I was a little. I mean, I like that he created Steven to escape the pain. maybe I just don't understand the mental illness part of it and how it actually the mechanics of how it works. But I just was a little confused that he would get beat
he
by
would
his
still
mom.
love his mom, even though he was there for the beating.
Well, I mean, he does say.
How does he not remember that? Or does he just? I don't know. The mechanic. It's hard for me to wrap my head around.
Or maybe he sees reality completely differently.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
He says, you had a childhood where your mom loved you and didn't beat you. I gave you that. So he's letting.
But then why would he flip himself to Steven when he's about to get beat?
Yeah, maybe he switched back to Mark for the beating and then flip back. I don't know. But
I don't know.
But that trauma, maybe also that trauma is just blocked, and Mark is forcing Steven to remember his mom a completely different way, and he's blocking the trauma.
Well, absolutely, yes. That's the point of that.
So, but all this fucking, dark, heady shit, and then at the end, it's great. Steven does help Mark fight off some of the undead as their scales never balance, even though Mark is showing Steven everything. He's revealing that, you got to mention a Bushman. He's revealing that, yes, I was there. You see Layla's father, and he tells them that Bushman went too far, shot everyone, shot Mark. And so you get a Bushman mention, which is crazy. And then Steven also.
Is it crazy? No one knows about Bushman.
Nobody knows about Bushman. If it wasn't for Ruggs.
Don't say that's crazy.
If it wasn't for Ruggs, I wouldn't have known about Bushman. Now, you said they weren't going to use him last episode. You thought you read somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, oh shit, they said Bushman. But then Steven ultimately saving Mark's life ends up falling off the boat into the sands of the underworld and freezing up as a stone. But he's not real anyways. He's not dead.
No.
He wasn't real to begin with.
I think
he's not dead.
That part of his personality might go for a bit, though.
So if Steven is out of the picture, Jake Lockley probably will get stronger. I was really surprised that we didn't get more concrete.
See, I thought the reason why they couldn't balance the thing because all three hearts had to be there. And
that's what I thought, too. I thought they needed 3. But as soon as Steven gets knocked off, turned to stone, the fucking scales balance. And the last shot of the show, it's crazy. It's Mark in the field of reeds, the afterlife of Egyptian gods, and he's just standing there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Does she say that he needs to see Osiris to go back up to?
Well, so this is what happened. She was guiding the boat towards the gates of the hell, but then she turned the boat, and she's like, we have to go to Osiris's gate. It's the only way back. So Taweret essentially, goes rogue and is going to help them get back.
So then why do you think they're at the reeds?
I don't know.
I'm saying why is that? Why do you interpret that as the reeds if she turned it? Why don't you think that they're with Osiris at that point?
Because I think once the scales balanced, maybe he got zapped right away where they were going. I don't know. They were at Osiris's gates. They were there. She does tell them they're dead. They have been shot. They need to be healed.
Right.
And he's created this fucking mental institute out of his own imagination.
The way I framed it, or the way that helped me kind of frame it, the Ringerverse said this, and I'm stealing it from them, but they were like, this is basic. They frame it as when they're on the boat, that's the most real. Like, that's actually what's happening.
Okay. On the outside
and then
of
when
the
they're
boat.
in the second level would be when they're going through the memories.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the darkest level that he keeps falling back to if he can't put it all together is the asylum, because he can the asylum is the coping is the
organizing principle
that he uses to make sense of all of it is I'm just crazy.
Yeah, he goes, you're insane. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're insane.
Right.
I love how he calls him Ned. He goes, love you, Tash. It's very Ned Flanders. And I love how, Jake is there with Harrow, and then the next time Mark is there with Harrow, and then the third time he actually gets to talk to Steven.
Right.
In the doctor's office. I thought that was very interesting. And then this question Harrow asks is amazing. He goes, do you think you created Steve to hide all the awful things you've done in your life? Or do you think Steven created Mark to punish the world for what your mother did to you? I was like, oh, fuck. And then we find out. We find out which way it is. I don't know. Fucking deep and dark episode.
I liked the part where Mark goes, he's talking to Steven on the boat, and he goes, kill the hippo.
Yes.
That was his solution to
It's
it.
like there's two of us, one of her.
Commandeer the boat and kill the hippo.
Kill the hippo. It's like, we can kill the hippo. The hippo voiced by Antonia Salib, and Tower was really funny. She's like,
That's a
them's the
great voice.
rules. Yeah, great voice. It's like, what a contradiction.
It was
from-
animated pretty well. You know?
Yeah, it was actually. I was surprised how well it looked. How good it looked.
So
animated.
did the green screen when they're outside on the boat, is that what bothered you?
Not only that one, but the one where he's outside of his mom's house after her when he can't go in for her shiva.
Oh, yeah,
it's very obvious green screen.
Oh, yeah. But then that moment.
And that's a real location that like they could have filmed in Chicago.
That's true.
They
It's just a street set. You can find a set.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He says he's in Putnam Medical Facility in Chicago, which I believe is from the comics. But, dude, these two moments. First, when Steven is with Dr. Harrow and he freaks out because he tells him his mom, like he tells him, you don't know your mom's not alive. And Dr. Harrow's like, let's call her. We'll call her right now. We'll get her on the phone. He's like, don't. He's like, she's alive. And he's holding up the phone. He's like, you want to talk to your mom? Here you go. And then he just looks at it. He's just looking at the handle, the receiver, and starts crying and realizes his mom is dead. I was like, oh, my God, so good. And then they follow that right up with drunk Mark walking away from the Shiva and breaking down in the middle of the street. And then Steven consoling him, telling him it's not your fault. You were a child. And Mark's like, I shouldn't have taken him in there. I should have been with him. I was like,
it's very good Will Hunting.
Very good Will Hunting. But it's Oscar Isaac. Just fuck, dude. Man, he's acting his ass
He's
off.
acting with no one else. He's acting with himself, and that's why he has to be commended. He did a great job.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I mean, he's carrying this whole show so
you
much.
forget that he's not like when he's probably acting. He's got to act with a stand-in there that's not going to act the way exactly he would want to act against himself.
It's just like on that show Orphan Black, where she played like 7 clones of herself, and you'd see 4 of her on screen. You forget it's the same person, Tatiana Maslany, playing all of them. They become 2 like distinct characters. So
I liked when he's at the Shiva at the end, and then they say that's when their lives started bleeding into one another.
Yes, that moment.
It's just that's another one moment though, where it was hard for me to wrap my head around because I was going. So when he turns into Steven again, how does Steven explain that he's in Chicago? How does Steven wake up to him and go, man, how the fuck did I get to Chicago?
You see that where he's just like, oh no, it happened again. Where am I? And he calls his mom. And he's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know. Steven just gets used to waking up in fucking weird places, that would have been like one of the first times.
But he's had to have been Steven long enough to establish a career and not a career, but a job in a place in England too. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the logistics of him switching back and forth all the time.
Yeah, don't think about it too much.
Yeah, I'm not going to. It's starting to hurt my head. But it's a real disorder. So it's
is a real disorder.
From everything I've gathered, they've been pretty good about being accurate to how it would
where
be
you
like.
You can't literally just wake up in someplace else.
A lot of it's apparently caused by trauma in your childhood.
Yeah. So, a lot of questions answered. Still a lot to wrap up. So, before we get into what we think we need in this last episode, I will tell you that the next show, the runtime of the final episode, is now going to be 48 minutes. Hold on. 42 minutes.
Whoa. That's it.
It is the shortest finale yet of any MCU show.
So here's the thing. I know I've been saying that they didn't have a ton to wrap up, but this episode didn't wrap up much.
No, they still have, what do they got to wrap up? There's still a bunch of things.
So are we running into another issue where they have too much going on for the last episode? You've already said that, Rose,
there's no way they can wrap this up unless it's like all in its head.
And everything I've seen online is this is not a series that's going to be a season 2. This is a mini series, meaning it's only one season.
Well, there was something where they changed the word series finale or season. They changed the word season finale, series finale to season finale. Maybe there'll be another. I think they're still making this up too, as they're going to see how this goes. But yeah, it's 44 to 45 minutes. There's still a lot to wrap up, right? There's still a confrontation with Harrow ultimately. If he's the big bad, that's got to go down.
Well, they're going to go and have more than likely a big CGI battle because they haven't done that yet. And there hasn't been a ton of Moon Knight.
Right. So,
but they also have to wrap up some of the other, the Jake Lockley parts. I would feel like that's a big thing.
So
how he gets out of there, how he gets out of where he's at right now.
You want to make
Stop
predictions? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, do we want a big CGI battle, or do we want a conversation episode, or a balance of the two? You know, like Loki gave us that great conversation episode.
What do you think happens? Give me like the bullet points. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I already saw a preview
There's a
for the last
promo
episode.
out for the finale. So Mark Spector is not dead. Moon Knight is going to come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we can guarantee that.
So Khonshu will be free at some point.
Somehow he's going to get out of there, free Khonshu. It appears Harrow has freed Amit, and maybe there's chaos now on the top side.
There's a shot of Harrow at the top of a pyramid, Moon Knight at the bottom, and then they run up and they run towards each other.
Oh, that's Harrow
like,
that he's
diagonally.
running at? Oh.
Yeah, diagonally over the pyramid, about to like fight each other.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Which looks actually kind of cool.
That looks
with the moon in the background.
There's some purple energy streaming from somebody in this promo. Moon Knight flying around. So big. So yeah, there's going to be some kind of battle. They need to add more Moon Knight. It's been Moon Knight, not Moon Knight heavy.
They will kill Harrow because they love to kill.
Oh shit!
Villains.
So
shit.
So Mark Spector goes to the afterlife, or the field of reeds, which is the heaven of whatever. Osiris allows him to be healed, right?
Wait, one thing, real quick. Anyone find it odd that a Jewish guy would have an Egyptian heaven?
Huh. That is it. Well,
I know that would be like they enslaved us, and then we're gonna go to their heaven too.
Listen, he had no choice. He was dying, and Khonshu was there. What are you gonna do? No, your heaven's my
even
heaven.
Tarorit says there's many versions of the plane. She even says there's the ancestral plane,
Yes,
which
she
is
mentioned
Lucy
the
Black
ancestral
Panther.
plane. Yes, that was a
What I thought she was getting at is heaven is what if there is a heaven, then you would interpret it the way you've believed heaven was always going to be.
I think that if a god like takes over your body, you might be inclined to like
to embrace their heaven.
You gotta go with it.
Or
You
yeah,
just
well,
gotta
you're
go with it.
probably your belief system has got to be a little bit challenged by that.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I just was like, this is weird. Now they're clearly saying he's Jewish and
Yeah.
he's in an Egyptian heaven.
Yeah.
They were at war for a very long time.
Oh, absolutely.
And they still don't really get along too well. When you think about it.
No.
But hey, he saves your life. You're his servant. That's where you're
true.
gonna go. I like how
I feel like there's more to mine there too. If you really wanted to get deep with it,
yeah,
that you have an Egyptian god controlling a Jewish man.
Well, they kind of just briefly like the Judaism parts were just there. They didn't even really deal with
it's just
it
matter
a
of
lot.
fact. Oh,
yeah.
he's Jewish.
It's different in the comics. I was reading a little bit about the comics. The reason he starts to have his DID disorder is because there is a Nazi posing as a rabbi that fucks with his head that he used to look up to, and he finds out this guy was a Nazi and he was hiding out, and that starts to make him fracture as opposed to his mom's abuse, which is what they've done here. I mean, it's a little different, but the origin part was very similar, like the actual him getting shot at the statue.
Yeah, I think that was like straight out.
Yeah, so
Pretty
they
close.
took a little liberties. Will they stick the landing? Will it be satisfying? It is a little disconcerting. There's only 144-minute episode left.
Wonder why they do that.
What are the things they got to do? Number one, they got to, he goes through the gates. He gets reborn. Now he's got to deal with Layla.
Yeah.
He's got to deal with Harrow.
Yeah.
Yep. He's also got to deal with another personality of himself, more than likely.
That we have not uncovered
Gotta
yet.
throw him in late in the game.
What if they just decide to like not address it at all?
Which part?
The third
Like,
personality?
Yeah.
I feel like the astute observer would be like, they've been clearly building to a third personality. It's something that you would need to address. I think there's probably a segment of the audience that hasn't picked up that there's a third personality.
No, and you got to bring Steven back. People love fucking Stephen Gray. Is he really dead? He's not gone. Like I would be very upset. You got to bring Steven back somehow.
Well, he can't die. He's not real.
He's not really. He can't die. Just fucking make him up again.
Like if Steven lives, if Mark Spector lives, Steven lives.
Also, is any of that actually happening though? But we talked about reality. Like, what is happening? Like, this is all in his head. This whole Egyptian underworld thing is in his head, anyways. Or is
I think the Egyptian underworld is actually happening.
that's actually happening? We are in the realm of the Egyptian gods. A lot of gods. Okay.
Well, they did the thing though, which Disney Pixar loves to do. which is they kill the imaginary friend.
Right. Oh my God, they do love doing that. Yes.
That's a big
Yep,
thing.
they
That's,
do it in
you
Toy
saw
Story.
that in Toy Story. You saw that in Inside Out.
Yeah,
you saw that in the latest one we reviewed a couple of years ago with the Jamie Foxx.
Oh, and Soul, yes.
Soul, they kill the imaginary friend.
Oh, they kill the one you love.
They kill the personality aspect or the imaginary person
That's a
in
good
you.
point. Oh, they might leave Steven dead then, these fuckers.
Because I saw a poll online was like this a top 5 imaginary friend
I
kill.
saw that too, yes. And I saw that clip. And it's definitely up there because I felt it. When he fell, I was like, no.
But does Mark Spector need Steven anymore?
Well, that's also a good question. He's already cracked the thing.
What was the function of Steven? Steven was there to have the good life.
Right.
But also he had the Egyptian knowledge.
The knowledge. He's exposed Steven now to the fact that his life wasn't good. So you're right. He doesn't necessarily need him anymore.
No, it's true.
Yeah, that version of Steven is forever tainted now.
And it ends Steven's version. Steven was always kind of letting life play out in front of him and not really taking charge. And he dies by trying to save Mark.
Yeah, by actually doing something.
Doing something.
Yeah. He goes out a hero, man. That's it. If that's how he goes out. Fucking him with the bat was great. He's just fucking baseball batting his fucking undead souls. It was fantastic. I found this interesting article. Apparently, this was divulged on the Ringer's podcast, House of R. They had head writer, producer Jeremy Slater on. Yeah. And in another world, this would have been a very different show. They were actually going to have Echo and Bushman in the show. And it turns out Jeremy Slater really wasn't too excited about having Echo. And just by luck, the producers came back to him. They're like, oh, wait, we have this show, Hawkeye. We think she would work better here. And he was like, oh, thank fucking God. Because Echo definitely worked better over here. I don't know how you shoehorn the Echo in this one.
Yeah.
But
it's a good choice.
Yeah. So then
I'm still not even fully sold on Echo as a character.
Right? Me neither.
Like, the thing is, I don't even really know how Moon Knight fits into anything.
That's also a good question.
I just think that the whole allure of Moon Knight is that it almost doesn't exist in the Marvel universe. It's its own thing, you know. It's just weird when you try and like, where does he fit in with the rest of the Marvel universe?
And will it do anything to tie in? Like, I love these weeks where we have a finale of a Marvel show and then a fucking huge movie coming out. Just like this week, we get episode 6, we get Doctor Strange. Will there be any connection? I don't think so.
Well, I think they're definitely, I don't want to say definitely, but I think they are on track to do this Midnight Suns thing.
Okay.
Where it's all the evil, not evil, but all the
Dark Heroes, Blade.
Yeah. Yep,
Maybe
exactly. So I think they're already building towards that, and I think that's where this character will eventually reside.
I mean, I definitely want to see more. You know, I don't want this to be the last of Moon Knight, just regardless of how it ends. I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of the Moon Knight, but we've gotten a lot of his backstory and his trauma, which is good.
I don't need
it's Mephisto.
It's Mephisto is pulling the fucking. I saw horns on somebody.
Well, there's been a lot of complaints online that this isn't. I mean, I think we talked about it last week that it's not a superhero show, really.
It's not.
You're not getting a ton of Moon Knight. So
is it a good show overall? I think it's a good show overall.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like the show.
I think it's interesting, and I think it's well acted, and I think that's really what carries it. The acting is great, and just the whole situation that they've concocted of this multiple personality thing and that mystery behind of what the hell is going on. Is this real? Is what the fuck are we? You know it. I hope that the problem is with these kind of things like Lost and all these things, these kind of like, you know, figure it outy type things.
Yep.
You know, they often don't land it well.
Yeah, the answer isn't always good as figuring out what the question really was.
So there is a chance that it's going to probably leave people wanting more, I guess.
With just 44 minutes, can it be enough with what they got left?
No way.
I don't think it can be. We've seen it. I mean, we've seen it in the past shows. How these things have ended. So we'll see. At least they've taken us into like kind of a different territory, different aspect of things.
Do they not know that it's not enough? Like, do they?
I don't know, because it seems like you could have tacked on a couple more episodes to this thing, and I would have been all right.
Yeah. Or they did a lot of wheel spinning in this show too.
Like, you know, and it's like where the plot doesn't advance, like multiple times, right? Like Khonshu's been in stone for like 2 episodes now, right? So,
right.
I don't know. All right. That's good. One more left. We'll be here for it. Let's find out what the listeners thought of News from the Nation. It's time for News from the Nation. It's time for News from the Nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
That's a very bassy one. It was like a very bassy, echoey one. I like it.
I actually started before the even.
I heard
it was
it.
Pre-fart. So this show continues to keep audiences kind of split. It's very interesting. I see this all over the internet. I see this in our Facebook group. For example, Chris Williams, his comment on this episode, simply color me unimpressed.
All right.
But then you get Jesse Rodriguez. His comment, hell yes, yes, and more yes. Wonderful character development of a Marvel character and understanding Mark Spector. This episode was fucking excellent. He says, yes, I would like more Moon Knight, but at this point, the deep dive into his character might be one of the best. And then you have David Zika commenting, nothing is grounded, so nothing matters. It could all be hallucinations or computer simulation. If they dig too deep into mental illness and get away from the Indiana Jones or superhero stuff, it's just a repeat of Legion, which devolved into a hot mess.
Yes.
All right. Then you get Lisa Morrison. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm loving this series as a whole. Definitely top 3 of Marvel TV shows on Disney+. And Blake Braden also. I'm rather enjoying the series. He says, I was not satisfied with the first episode, but Marvel has done a superior job at making a show where you don't need to see a quote-unquote superhero in costume all the time to keep the audience captivated. Very intense, emotional, hit some nice swerves as well. And then he asks, have we had a Marvel superhero in the MCU that's actually been shown such a dark backstory? Abuse like that, mental and physical, I don't think has been seen on an MCU screen. Right? I mean, I can think of Jessica Jones, but that's not MCU.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of that trauma.
Wanda.
Oh, Wanda's trauma is very evident now after WandaVision. That was pretty dark.
Wanda, I think Bucky's had some pretty bad trauma being a vessel for killing people without having any control over it.
And having to remember all that.
But yeah, I mean, this one's up there, might be probably the darkest.
I mean, also
in terms of heroes.
Animated, but the Doctor Strange Supreme, that was fucking trauma.
Right.
Trauma watching that shit. Jesus. So, yeah, it's just, I feel like in this phase.
James Gunn. I'm not James Gunn, Star-Lord.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, is that dark? Well, it's kind of dark.
Yeah. I mean, he finds out his dad gave his mom cancer.
Right. That's pretty, but it's done in such a lighthearted.
Pretty dark.
But it's so colorful and jokey and lighthearted. They're playing catch.
I mean, his dad's basically been going around. His dad's been going around fucking
planets,
fucking women.
Yeah,
and then seeing that my children don't have the celestial gene, so I'm going to murder my kids.
And then he just destroys the planet, moves on to the next one.
No, he murders.
Oh, he does
kids.
kill the kids if they don't have what it takes.
Yeah,
you got to have the genes.
Right. So that's pretty dark.
I've also noticed like this phase, like all the the most of the characters, they're all from this like new phase 4, right? There's a lot of pain and trauma in phase 4.
Right.
I think we'll see more in Doctor Strange. Okay, Justin Zwerner back with another Would You Rather. We love these. Would you rather have telekinesis, which is the power to move things with your mind, right? Or telepathy, which he clarifies the power to read and control minds. You guys think about it. Here's how the vote broke down in the group. Kelsey Carter voting telepathy. Alice McPike voting telekinesis, saying telepathy is inherently unethical. Chris Williams also voting telekinesis, then I can choke a motherfucker from across the room. It's a good reason. Blake Braden, also telekinesis. The remote always seems so far away. But then we have Wes Cranford voting for telepathy. Joe Henry, 100% telepathy would be very useful. That is a split vote, 50-50. Ruggs, what say you?
Ethics is a construct. It doesn't really exist. Good and evil are just something that we made up.
Okay.
So telepathy.
You're going telepathy.
Oh, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to be God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anthony.
I would have said telepathy, but Alice McPike appealed to my emotional side. And I'm going to go with telekinesis because because she said that, I now think eliminating someone's free will and being in controlling them would be, I would, but at some point I would look in the mirror and not recognize myself and be like, you're an evil bastard.
I would also go with telekinesis because telepathy is a slippery slope. If you're able to read and hear everything everybody's thinking and you can't turn it off and you have,
that's the best
that
thing.
is fucking dangerous.
That's the best thing. It's just, I think it's at some point I'd be like, fuck, this is wrong.
Yeah, but and knowing that would be such a fucking burden. Listening to that,
but you don't have to do anything,
and you can probably turn it off. You don't have to listen to everyone's
you could
pain.
turn it off.
Like you don't have to use it.
You would.
Can.
You would all the time. Do you really want to know what people actually think of you? I don't know.
I think that like what I would do is I'd solve a bunch of problems first of all.
I think it ultimately causes reverberation problems.
What?
What do you mean?
Like forcing people to do something is going to have like butterfly effects.
Oh, you're going next level. I was thinking at some point you would the stress of reading people's minds and then doing something about solving it. I think at some point you would break down.
Yeah, it would corrupt you.
Whatever. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, clearly.
I would
Right,
totally
has no
use
scruples. I'm moving
I mean,
shit
look,
with your mind. It's cool.
At this point in time, in the world that we live in, where we're deconstructing everything, and that that we're realizing that this experience is completely concocted by us. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, right? Isn't that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, no, moving shit with your mind just seems a little bit easier and cleaner. There's a lot of responsibility
shit.
over there.
What are you going to do with those powers? What are you going to move with your mind?
Fun. You can move a lot of
Imran's going to do less.
No, because let's extrapolate. Why would telekinesis be better?
I don't think it's better.
Like, how do you use it without hurting people?
You can fly. You can float yourself everywhere you want to go.
So you would fly. Okay.
Imran would move that mace around his head without actually moving it around his head.
Would you start like a moving company? Like, what would you do? Like, would you be like, you could
start a moving company. It'd be real quick.
You just start moving people's furniture. Like, what would you do with those powers?
You could be a superhero. You could save if the plane is falling.
You build stuff,
you could build stuff.
Yeah, you'd be cheap labor.
What would you do?
So you'd basically be someone's like hump. You'd be just doing everything.
What do you do with telepathy, Rugs?
I just said I would fix everything.
Okay. Just
I'd fix everything.
Make people be good.
No.
Not be assholes.
I don't know.
Good question, though. Lot to
I would have said
think about there.
until I heard Alice's response.
Yeah. I was on the fence, but I'm going to go telekinesis.
Telepathy, I could definitely... I would have my way. I'd slay if I had telepathy.
So it would be like imagine you're like Purple Man, right? Like, wouldn't that get boring after a while? Like, you can just tell everybody.
Well, you don't have to be like. Guess what? Just because you have telepathy doesn't mean that you're an automatic asshole.
Yeah, or Charles Xavier.
Like, just because you have money doesn't make you an automatic asshole. You can be an asshole.
Yeah, it seems to go hand in hand with.
Just because you're good looking doesn't mean you're an automatic asshole.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Shut up, Andy.
That's all the evidence.
I don't know what it's like. All right?
Don't break the fantasy. All right, good question. Let's finish up. What are we watching? Anthony, you watching anything?
I'm still on the 80s action tour. I owe everybody some Patreon reviews that I'll do at some point. But the latest one I watched was last night. I watched Above the Law. Which was Steven Seagal's first movie, and it happened to be in the 80s.
Oh, that's his first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a great movie. I don't know if that'll end up there. The only reason it should is because it's Seagal's first. But all you have to do is Google or YouTube Steven Seagal running.
Oh, that's the clip.
And that's in this movie. Oh my God, I've never seen a man run like that before.
Yeah, bad running is always a good treat.
Oh, he runs. I don't know what's going on with his gait.
Is it as bad as Ezra Miller's running, or
I think it's the worst running. It's the worst running I've ever seen.
He needs Tom Cruise's running coach,
and he's strangely skinny in this movie.
Yeah,
skinny, and his hairline is going.
Oh God!
And then his hairline suddenly gets way better in all the other films.
Oh, interesting.
It's a strange movie. Sharon Stone, Pam Grier, Henry Silva, I think, is in it, and they're all like great actors. But then this movie has like not enough Aikido. They didn't know what they were doing with him yet, so it's like Steven Seagal's trying to act, but there's all these way better people around him. But they don't use those other people, so it's just him acting, and then there's not enough Aikido. So,
oh God.
Interesting movie.
All right.
Set in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Steven Seagal, baby. Let's go.
What was there another one? What else?
That was it. That's all I've
Okay.
seen this week. So,
Well, Ruggs, I think we watched the same movie this week.
We did.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Anthony, have you seen this trailer? Or have you heard about this movie
I've
at
heard
all?
about it. Yeah,
Oh my God.
the lady from Shang-Chi, isn't it?
Michelle Yeoh is in it. You also have it's brought to you by writer-director team of the Daniels. They're called the Daniels, Dan Kwan.
And the Russo brothers.
And produced by the Russo brothers. The Daniels previously did Swiss Army Knife, which is another
Swiss Army Man,
Swiss
which
Army
is
Man.
a fucking crazy ass movie.
About a farting corpse. It's a
it's
fucking
great.
weird movie. This movie is fucking trippy. You also have Ke Huy Quan, who you may remember as Short Round from Indiana
And
Jones
Data.
and Data from Goonies.
Yeah, he does a great job in this.
He's
movie.
great in this. He took a break from acting for a while, came back. Also, James Hong, who's been acting for fucking decades. Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know. Ruggs, can you describe this movie? This movie is hard to describe.
Well, okay, so what seems to be culminating as the worst day in this woman's life, she's a mother. Her business is going bad. Her elderly father is moved in with her, and she fucking hates her dad, and her marriage is falling apart. On this kind of like day that this is all happening, another version of her husband comes and basically puts these things in her ears that allow her to slide between different dimensions, you would say,
Well,
or
parallel universes.
Parallel universes.
Anthony,
that's
you know
better.
the theory
yeah.
where every choice you make, it splits off, and if you had done something different, you had a different timeline, right? So that's what they're dealing with here.
So
in
she's
the
jumping
multiverse.
into different. It's kind of like the Matrix.
Yes.
She could jump into different lives that she lived, and whatever skills that she gets in those lives, she can absorb them
and use that
and bring them
experience.
back to and use them in the other universe. So, and she could also see into her life what it was like. So she could see what her life was like without her husband.
Yes.
She could see her life if the world fucking evolved out of different beings instead of Homo sapiens.
It's so trippy, dude. It's
like,
so trippy.
It's really trippy. And
But then ultimately, it is a story of like Chinese American immigrants coming to this country, dealing with generational biases, like how her father treats her. She never did good enough. And then her daughter is also getting distance because she's being raised in the West. So I really related with this immigrant family upbringing. And it's ultimately a story about a mother connecting with her daughter. And trying to be the best version of herself, or that they keep saying in the movie nothing matters, but the movie really the message is everything matters. Every little decision matters. Yeah, I would recommend experiencing this movie. It is an assault on the senses. It's trippy as fuck. It's well done. It makes its rules. It follows them. Here, let me do this. I did this in the review, and it's kind of fun. You know, you've seen those memes where it's like spoiler context, out of context images for things, where it's like 4 pictures of things.
Yeah.
And you can't put them together. So for this movie, here's your spoiler out of context images. Picture this in your head. An everything bagel, the Disney movie Ratatouille, hot dog fingers, dildos are in this movie, and things going up people's butts. All right, it's all those things are in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh yes. There's a lot of fucking crazy shit that I didn't think I would see in a theater.
Yeah.
Or yeah. I've seen people get slapped in the face with a penis before, but like, I was not expecting it in this movie.
What did you think, Ruggs? Especially since we're coming up to a big movie that's going to be dealing with multiverse fractures, right? This one handles it very thoughtfully in a different way.
Yeah,
but
I feel like that. I liked about 77% of this movie.
Okay,
and I thought like the 77% of it was brilliant. Like I'm talking like brilliant. Like the shit when they're rocks.
Oh my God! Yes, that
is
scene
fucking
is amazing. Yeah,
I'm like,
it's hilarious without any audio with captions, right? And it's really funny.
Like they went there and they did that, and I was like, oh wow, this fucking director's got balls of steel.
But the movie, doesn't it make you think of like your life and every decision you may or may not have made. No, it made me think about it. Like, what if I went this way? What if it would have happened if I went that way? Like, I found myself thinking about that.
I mean, there's so many other movies that do that too. But like, so I what the thing that I really was the existential thing, I guess. Yeah. Not so much like the different versions of myself and whatever. It was just like, okay, we exist and there's multiple versions of everything, but at the same time, you're living in this one.
Right.
You can't worry about everything else. Right. You got to be fucking living where you are. Yeah. Like you can't. So, and that's what needed to be fixed ultimately. That's the world. That's the universe that matters. The alpha universe that you're in.
Fix your timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Fix your timeline. Fix your shit. But I did think it was a very brilliant movie. I think that the action sequences were fun. I think Jamie Lee Curtis was great.
Oh, there's also Fanny Pack Kung Fu. This is fantastic.
Fanny Pack Kung Fu. Yeah. There's a lot of memorable shit in this movie. You're not going to walk out of this movie and be like, never think about it again.
No, it sticks with you because the movie ends and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? Holy shit.
Yeah. I feel like it's crazy because remember how everybody was talking about Parasite?
Yeah.
But nobody talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
Because what's really memorable about it besides like giving the lady the stabbing people at the end? I don't know. What's the most memorable thing?
This is a sci-fi Parasite. It's kind of like based on the same kind of themes, right? But then takes this crazy fucking science fiction middle turn and gets so imaginative.
Well, yeah, you're talking about like, there's the Asian influence and like, what does that mean? East meets West, all that's the clash.
Like, that could have been a white family that they used, but I love that it was a Chinese immigrant family.
Yeah.
It adds more texture to it.
Well, just for the martial arts alone,
then you get that.
That works better. Yeah. And a lot of the mysticism and a lot of that stuff is involved as well. So, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. As I said, like, I do feel like some of the stuff with the bagel and the daughter didn't really work for me until the end. Until the rock part.
Yeah.
I wasn't liking the whole daughter thing. Yeah. It just, that didn't work for me for some reason.
It does drag maybe a little bit in the middle, but, I mean, it's not perfect, but I thought it was very
I feel
close.
like they could have probably, I think that they were too stuck on that. And there was something more to be mined there.
Still, I recommend this movie. They made it for $25 million, and like the effects look great.
Looks great.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
It's
brilliant in so many ways.
It's very original and clever.
You'll definitely remember it. I don't know if you're gonna like it. I can't guarantee you're gonna like this movie.
Yeah,
like I can't make a hard like. You're going to fucking love it. Some people will go and watch this movie and be like, what the fuck am I watching?
You will remember it, though. You'll be like, it is a mindfuck movie. One of those great mindfuck movies to be added to the list. All right.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I watched something that was also crazy.
What's that?
I watched In the Line of Duty 3.
What? Wait a minute.
What the fuck?
Is that isn't Clint Eastwood? That's the original one?
No, that's In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of Duty.
All right.
You said duty.
So, Michelle Yeoh did a movie called Yes, Madam, which she was in with Cynthia Rothrock.
This is an 80s movie.
Yeah. Anyhow, In the Line of Duty 3 is the sequel to that, the third sequel to that, Yes, Madam, which they gave it a different title. Basically, it's just they got this woman who kind of is Michelle Yeoh-like.
Okay.
To be like the new karate, it's like the new karate detective. And so the beginning of the movie starts out with this jewelry robbery.
It's a Chinese film, right?
Yes. Let me just tell you this beginning scene here. So there's this like fashion show where this a jewelry designer is having this big like presentation, like all these jewels are laid out, and these two Japanese terrorists crash this thing and steal all the jewels. But they literally, it was like, remember like when in the Matrix, when Neo and Trinity went into the fucking that they went into that building and started blowing like everything away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was like. They literally like blew, like just body count, just laying everyone to waste.
Nice.
And I'm like, holy shit. And they steal all the jewels and whatever. And so this ignites this whole movie of like the Japanese guy who has to come and like, you know, because this happened and they're chasing him into Hong Kong. They've escaped into Hong Kong. And then this woman police officer who's like a fucking ninja that could just beat the shit out of anybody is him and team up to try and get these two terrorists. And there's some really great karate action in this, but there's also a fucking love scene that's so crazy. So the terrorists, they just pulled off this jewel heist and they're all like amped up. And so I see like, you know, there's the woman on the bed and I'm like, oh, this is a Hong Kong film. Nothing's going to happen. Or maybe something will happen. And she slits both of their wrists, starts licking the blood. Ooh. And then all of a sudden they're naked and having sex. Like, and it's like goes on for like a long time. And I was like, what the fuck? What movie am I watching? I did not expect this. It was like came out of nowhere. But then I was like, yeah, but I just watched like 100 people get mowed down, like with squibs, like shooting blood everywhere. Didn't bat an eyelash. So it was like weird that violence is completely fine, but boobs,
no boobs
and blood
seemed weird. But yeah, it's a very, it's a very crazy film. And, I watched it today and, thought it was very,
on Prime,
very entertaining.
Prime Video from 1988.
It's not a good movie.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it's a B movie. But it was entertaining. There was a lot of flying around. At the end of the movie, they do a lot of like, you see like the male stuntman that's supposed to be in the girl's clothes. A lot of that. There's a lot.
There's 5 of these, by the way, in the Line of Duty movies.
Well, the first one, Yes, Madam, with Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh is fucking classic.
Okay.
It's like a classic kung fu movie. So,
all right. Good kung fu shit. Oh, that's from 85. Yes, madam. Okay. That's on Prime too. Oh, you got to pay for that. All right. Good stuff. Check all that shit out, listener. We're done for this week. Remember, Moon Knight, episode 6, Doctor Strange. Go see it. Sequel, Multiverse of Madness. We'll be talking about it. Can't wait. Ruggs, where can the listener find you online?
You can find me at the House of Musk. At Really Rug Boy.
Use your nose. You'll find him. At Really Rug Boy on Twitter. Link in the show notes, as well as links to everything I talked about, how to support the show, how to get in touch. Share the show with your geeky friends, listener. Spread the stupidity. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
My balls was hot.